tried to film this video like 5 or 10 times, I don't even know, but I tried to film it when she wasn't wanting to feed, and as you can tell, her little feet are right here because she's breastfeeding right now. Hopefully I don't have like a boob slip or something like that in this video. I'll have to edit that out, or I don't know, put some kind of blurry thing on it. But yeah, basically newborns literally feed all the time. I'm gonna get into like all the crazy stuff that I never expected to happen once my baby was born. And yeah, I'm gonna get into that in this video, but basically one of the main things was I did not expect them to feed literally what feels like 24 hours a day. Like not 24 hours a day, but it feels like she's wanting to feed every moment of every day. Like when she's not feeding, I'm looking at her to see if she's hungry, and it's just like a crazy cycle. So breastfeeding has been so intense. I'm sitting in the Indian style position right now and my legs are always hurting. I really need to get one of those like baby wraps. I actually have a wrap for her, but I feel like I'm not skilled enough to breastfeed while I'm walking around. Some of you guys suggest that to me, but I need to try that out because I'm literally sitting all day. She feeds every 2 hours, sometimes every hour. I think she's cluster feeding, which I guess means she's going through a growth spurt or something. So yeah, she is feeding all the time, but I'll get into that a little bit later. But yeah, in this video, I wanted to do an update on myself, but also introduce you guys to Annabelle. So show you guys what she looks like. I know you've already seen her, but show you a little bit more, and yeah, basically how she's doing and how I'm doing. So I thought I would start with her because it's more interesting, and I feel like I'm always talking about myself on this channel. Being pregnant for the last 9 months, I'm always talking about my body and blah blah blah. I'm kind of sick of it. So basically she was born 5 pounds and 13 ounces, so she was, like I expected, a small baby. She was really small actually, and she still is small. I don't know how much she weighs. We're going to the doctor on Wednesday to find out how much she's gained, but I feel like she's getting bigger. And yeah, at first, I mean, I think even if she did end up being like a 10-pound baby, I feel like I'd still be scared because their necks, like, they can't support their neck. So at first, Doug and I were like so gentle with her. I mean, we still are gentle with her, but at first we were just kind of like scared to change her, scared to, I don't even know, just like hold her a little bit because we just are not familiar with newborns at all. And now I feel like I've mastered like doing everything with a newborn, so we feel more secure about that. But she still is really small. She wears newborn sizes. She's actually wearing her first dress, which I'll show you guys, but yeah, this is like the only dress she is wearing, and it's hot outside. I don't know what happened in SoCal, but it got hot again. So yeah, she's wearing her dress today in a little bow that barely fits on her head. So she was 19 inches long, and I think that's like an average size, but she has a really long femur, as you can tell. A lot of you guys are like, can't believe you don't know where the femur is, and it's like, I mean, I don't know. So yeah, she has really long legs, which Doug has really long legs and a short torso. So a lot of you guys were saying, and I actually said in the vlog, that she looks so much like Doug. But I feel like now that she's, you know, a little bit over 2 weeks old, she's starting to look more like me. It looks like she's gonna have my nose, which, dear Lord, this little baby, I wanted her to have Doug's nose, but she's gonna have my Portuguese nose, whatever. And she still has her little almond-shaped eyes. She has brown eyes like we both expected, because obviously both of us have brown, just brown everything. And she has a full head of hair. It looks like she's not really losing a lot of her hair. She has a big old cowlick in the back, which I'll show you guys. It's so cute. So the first thing I wanted to kind of talk about is like, I don't know, I feel like this is a given, but in all the postpartum like updates I watch on YouTube, nobody really like talks about it, and I don't know. I feel like I just wanted to talk about how crazy it is to birth a baby. I know that's like a given, and you kind of just like assume that, you know, you're gonna love your baby right away and everything's gonna be pure bliss, which it totally is. But I could have never dreamed of how, like, the emotion you feel after you see your baby like come out of your womb. And I don't know what she's doing right now, but I don't know, just like when they look into your eyes, especially I think being a mother, but they've been inside you for 9 months and you don't know what they look like, you don't know their personality, you don't even know anything about them. All you know is their kicks, their hiccups, their movements, and all that stuff. So you have a connection in that way, but it's not as deep as, like, at least for me, it wasn't as deep as some women describe it, especially, you know, being a first-time mom. But yeah, basically when she was pulled out of my stomach, because I had a C-section, which I'll go into later, when she was pulled out of my stomach and I saw her for the first time, it was seriously like it was kind of like an out-of-body experience, because I don't know, when your baby like looks into your eyes, it's almost like a instant connection, and it's just like indescribable. Like, it's nothing I could have ever thought in a million years of like how I would think it would be. So yeah, it's amazing. I'm not gonna lie. Not gonna go into it because I'll probably get emotional. But yeah, so having a baby has been like the best. I know that sounds like super silly, and of course it would be the best, but it's way better than I could have ever thought. I know you guys have been asking if I want a second one. Yes, I want a second one, because even though, like, you know, I complained about my pregnancy and I had a bunch of stuff that happened to me. I lost a lot of weight in the beginning and all that stuff. It is totally worth it to have a baby. Like, I would do this for like 2 years to have a baby. I would be pregnant for 2 years basically. So yeah, totally worth it, and I'm obsessed. You guys will know if you watch my Snapchat, because I like literally snap her every second of the day. Other things that I did not expect are just like how exhausted you actually get. Like, a lot of people would just, actually everybody would be like, get ready for being exhausted and get ready for sleepless nights, you know, when I was pregnant. And I'd be like, yeah, whatever, I can handle it. Like, I was exhausted in college. Well, this is not the same. Like, the level of exhaustion when you have a newborn is like nothing I've ever experienced before. And I feel like Doug and I can usually handle being tired like really well. But I don't know, I think it's not just the exhaustion you're dealing with. You're also dealing with like pain, whether you have like a regular delivery or a C-section like I do. And you know, you're dealing with pain, you're exhausted, and you're also like emotional. So all of that stuff wrapped up in one can make you kind of crazy. If you watch my vlogs, you'll know. But yeah, the other thing I didn't expect is the crazy postpartum hormones. So you guys will know if you've seen my vlogs, but I was basically like crying a lot. I would say that it happened on day 3 postpartum and also day 5. Like, those 2 days I cried pretty much like off and on all day long. It was so weird. It's honestly kind of embarrassing. Like, you just cry at the drop of a hat and you can't control it. At least I couldn't. And I thought like something was weird, so that's why I kind of wanted to talk about it in the vlog. And then you guys all told me pretty much, like, I got like hundreds of comments and emails and Instagram messages from you guys telling me that you went through that too after your baby came out. So I think it's just like your body regulating its hormones or something, but I was scared that maybe it was like a sign of postpartum depression, although I wasn't like depressed. Like, I didn't feel sad. I felt like super, super happy, almost like so happy to the fact that like I couldn't even control it. So yeah, it wasn't depression, but thankfully I can update you guys and I can tell you that I went away. I feel completely myself. I feel like I'm a little bit emotional just because I'm still, you know, in like the blissful stage and we're still adjusting to everything, but I'm not like crying at the drop of a hat and like crying at everything, which is like so annoying. A lot of you guys are asking me how like having a baby or how having a newborn has changed like my marriage. And Doug and I have only been married like a couple months anyways, but just like your relationship in general. And it's definitely, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything for you guys. You know, I'm pretty real on my channel. And I feel like a lot of postpartum like updates are just moms coming on here and being like, everything's perfect and, you know, we're in pure bliss, which you are, like, don't get me wrong. But there are a lot of like challenges and struggles that you face, I think, with your partner, especially because you both are navigating like a new baby, and your main goal, like for the next, well, for the rest of your life, but especially your main goal together, you know, in those first few weeks of when your baby is born, is to keep your baby alive, which sounds super dramatic, but it is dramatic. Like, you're learning how to breastfeed, you're making sure that you're producing enough milk for your baby, you're making sure your baby's breathing. I don't know, that's just Doug and I, we listen to her breathing like at night, not so much anymore, but the first week we were like constantly listening to her to make sure she was okay. And it's just basically a lot of stress, especially that first week. We feel a lot better now because we're getting into like a bit of a routine. She's sleeping a little bit longer. I think we're just getting used to like being sleep deprived, and I don't know, maybe we're just getting used to it. But yeah, at first it was really challenging because I'm basically sitting here all day trying to breastfeed her and making sure like everything is going good with breastfeeding, because that is really hard and it is such a challenge to learn how to breastfeed. So yeah, that is one thing I would highly recommend, getting like a lactation specialist or something like that, because we got like a doula the other day to help us with breastfeeding and she completely changed like everything. We feel so much better about it. So yeah, it can be very stressful with your partner, but it's definitely gotten a lot better now that she's a little bit older and we feel more secure. So far, she's been a really good baby, and I feel like every mom kind of says that. Like, they're not going to say they have a bad baby. A lot of people say that, you know, you raise your baby a certain way or you raise your child a certain way, and that's kind of how they come out. You know, depending on your parenting style. And a lot of people say that it's that, but also like your child comes out how they're going to be like in the end. Like, some people come out with just like a certain personality that you can't really mold or shape. And I kind of agree with that. I feel like she's already a really like gentle being. Like, I feel like she's really kind, and I don't know, I just get that feeling from her. Like, I don't feel like she's going to be a handful. Like, I mean, I could be completely wrong. That's why I wanted to say it in this vlog, so I can look back and maybe laugh at myself. But yeah, I just feel like she's gonna be very polite, and like, I don't know, I'm probably gonna just slap myself for saying this in a couple years when she's crazy and running around, but I just feel like she's a really good baby. I don't know, she cries when she needs changed or when she needs to be fed, but I feel like she doesn't really cry for no reason, although she is still a newborn, so she's sleeping a lot, so we'll see if that changes in my next few updates. But yeah, so far she's really good and she's very alert. She like looks into your eyes a lot. And she can't really like focus too far because I think they can only focus like 15 inches. I don't know what it is. It's like a piece of paper or something away from your face. So yeah, she can't really focus too much, but she definitely knows who I am. I can tell because she like looks at me every time I'm around. She's like looking for me, probably because I'm her food source. But yeah, so I feel like she's really alert and she's doing really good. Her first pediatrician appointment went really well. They gave her really high scores on all the tests, so she's doing well there too. She has some of the craziest expressions. Like she like has this like furrowed brow look, which I feel like may look like me. That's what Doug says. I don't know if I look like that, but she like furrows her brow and like gives you like a annoyed expression or something. When she, I don't know, I think she does it when she sleeps or something. Also, I know that newborns are not supposed to like laugh or smile yet. I think like they start smiling around 2 months or 3 months or something. But Doug and I have seen her laugh and smile in her sleep like 3 times, and it's like a chuckle, like a big hearty chuckle. And I read online that that might be gas, so I don't know if that's an actual laugh or a smile. Well, it definitely is a smile. So yeah, she hasn't done it when she's awake, only when she's asleep. It's really weird, but it's the cutest thing. So she's only had a few milestones, and the first one was her little sponge bath that we gave her. My mom gave her her first sponge bath, and I was honestly so emotional that I couldn't even hear her cry like for the first week because I would cry. So my mom and Doug ended up giving her her first sponge bath because I was just like so hormonal. It was crazy. So yeah, she got her first sponge bath, and now that her umbilical cord has fallen off, Doug and I attempted to give her a first like submersion bath, and it was seriously a nightmare. I don't even know. I talked about it on my Snapchat. Basically, we had like a bathtub, like a baby bathtub, but she's so small that I don't want her to go in it because I feel like she'll slip if we don't hold her right or something, and she'll go like head under. It just makes me nervous. So Doug and I were like, let's just put her in the bathroom sink, like with a towel. So yeah, she didn't really like it as much as when my mom did it. So my mom's gonna come over today and actually give her like a proper bath, and she's gonna show us how to do it because we are just like noobs. But I'll show you guys like what the bath looks like. I tried to film it and I didn't want to put it in because I know you guys are gonna be like, you shouldn't do it like that, blah, blah, blah. I'm completely aware that we do not know what we're doing. So yeah, we're gonna just learn along the way. She's been sleeping really good, but she really only likes to sleep if she's like right next to me. So you know, we have the Halo bassinet, and a lot of you guys have been asking me. I kind of like Snapchatted that we're gonna return it. First off, she hates it, which I know not every baby is the same, and I know a lot of you guys are gonna come on here and tell me that you just need to train them and that she's gonna hate it at first, but she'll like it later. I can't stand to, like, she cries so much every time I put her in it, and I know every baby's different and some babies might like it, but I just feel like for the price of it, I just don't think we're gonna get our use out of it. So we're probably gonna get like an arm's reach co-sleeper because there's no like guard you know, along the front of the bassinet, so she can like be more near me and it's like right next to me. I don't know, now that I've had my baby, I feel like a little bit more aware of like how nature is supposed to be. Like, I don't know, I just don't feel like you're supposed to be that far away from your baby. This is my own opinion. Now I know you guys are gonna be like, no, this is not what I think or whatever, which I know everybody's different, but for me, I just feel like it just doesn't make any sense to be away from your newborn baby because I want to show you guys what she looks like when she cries. Because even though it sounds really mean, but she's the cutest little crier. What? Oh, now she's not even doing it. She's kind of getting over a little bout of jaundice. That's why she looks a little orangish, reddish, or I don't know what color they look, a little bit yellow. Let's put your bow on. Anyways, so like I was saying, I don't know, now that I've become a mother, I just feel like a little bit more protective. Before I had her, I was planning on like weaning her out of the bed or out of the bassinet like the first few months, and now I just don't feel like that matters as much. I know, like, you know, not sleeping with your kids in your bed is like a very controversial thing, and we talked about it in one of my pregnancy updates, but I don't know, I just don't think it matters as much. Like, I feel like the only thing that matters right now is the fact that she feels like, I don't know, nurtured and she feels safe and happy. So if that means she has to sleep in a bassinet that's closer to my bed or even in the DockATot, that's just what I'm gonna do, and that's just like my choice. So I know that's controversial, but I just do not like the Halo bassinet. I feel like it's too far away and there's just a big barrier between you and your newborn baby, and it just doesn't make any sense like biologically. I know that's kind of like going a little deep, but babies are not meant to be away from their moms. Like, that's what I think. So I am planning on doing a labor and delivery story. So I'm going to do that this week. So stay tuned for that. And I'll talk about, like, you know, why I had a C-section and all that kind of stuff. But I do want to update you guys with how I'm recovering. The first week of the C-section was definitely hard. It was very frustrating because I couldn't get up to really change her. Doug had to do all the changing on all of that stuff because I was just in a lot of pain. But honestly, wasn't as bad as some experiences I've heard. I've heard some women go through very traumatic C-sections, and I've heard other women prefer C-sections over vaginal deliveries, so that's crazy. But yeah, for me, it wasn't like super traumatic, which I'm very grateful for because I know that I could have been, and I could have just still been recovering, but I'm 2 weeks out of it and I can walk around fine. I can walk upstairs. I'm not really struggling anymore. So the first week was hard, but the second week, you know, I feel completely fine now. There's a little bit of pain, but it's nothing that I can't handle. But I also have a really high pain tolerance, and that's what my doctor actually told me. So it's not just me saying that, but everything went really smooth, and I wouldn't necessarily recommend a C-section. I still prefer, I mean, I have never had a vaginal delivery, but if I had to like tell you guys which one to get out of my experience, I would prefer a vaginal delivery because the recovery is a lot quicker. And you can basically start to like take care of your baby right away rather than wait until you're all recovered. That's about it for this video. If you guys liked it, then give it a thumbs up below and make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And yeah, we will see you guys in our next video. Bye guys.